Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto, and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 8th and final round of the 1951 season, the Spanish Grand Prix. It was held on the 28th of October. It had 23 entries, 19 of which took part in the race, and of those, 9 retired. The race consisted of 70 laps, which were completed in 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 54 seconds. Ascari started the race from pole, Fangio was second, Gonzalez third, Farina was in fourth, and Villoresi started from fifth. The race was won by Juan Manuel Fangio. Gonzalez crossed the line in second 54.28 seconds later. Farina finished third, 1 minute 45.54 seconds behind. Ascari ended up in fourth, 2 laps behind, and rounding up the top 5 was Felice Bonetto, who was also 2 laps behind. And the fastest lap was a 2:16.93 posted by Juan Manuel Fangio. So here is a lap of Pedralbes, a circuit that wasn't used too much in championship racing. We start off with a fairly long start finish straight, brake hard as we come into turn 1, which is a right-hand hairpin. Next we come into turn 2, a very fast left-hander. Position the car just right and you should be able to go flat out through there. However, you need to be careful because as soon as you exit the corner, you almost immediately need to brake for turn 3. Easy on the throttle as you come out of the corner because there's a dip just after the apex, which could upset the balance of the car. We then come into turn 4, a slightly tricky left-hander where you will have to lift off the throttle a bit to be able to make it through. Then we come into turn 5, you need to slow down a bit here. How much is going to be dictated by the line you take. Then a quick burst of acceleration before slowing down for turn 6, and that is a lap around Pedralbes. Okay, so here we are in qualifying and I decided to take it easy today, and despite that we put up a 2 minute 07.9 second lap, which places us in a provisional pole. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to stay there. In fact, I know I won't stay there, but there you have it. Even though I wasn't trying that hard, I still got pole somehow and at this track. And this is going to be the one and only qualifying lap. I'm not... Seriously, we've won the championship already, so there's no real reason for me to push hard. And here we are for the grid walk. And why are the cars arranged that way? Anyway, we have Alberto Ascari on pole, Peter Walker is second, Nino Farina third, Luigi Villoresi is fourth, and the rounding up the top 5 is our guy Andy Higgs. Next we have Felice Bonetto in 6th, Piero Taruffi 7th, Juan Manuel Fangio 8th, Consalvo Sanesi is 9th, Luis Chiron is 10th, Fagioli 11th, in 12th we have De Graffenried, 13th is Rosier, Gonzalez is in 14th, Cabantu 15th, Fischer 16th, André Pilet 17th, in 18th we have Manzon, Claes is in 19th, and André Simon is in 20th. So there we have the grid lineup, interesting little lineup, and I'm still confused about why the cars are arranged in this staggered manner, because this wasn't a thing until I think around early 70s. But the flag is down and a lot of a huge frame drop there. I'm sorry about that, but I couldn't do anything about it. We lost a couple of positions. We are now down in 12, but you'll see that, well, you won't see it because I won't show it, but there were a lot of times in the race where the frame dropped when the AI either made contact with each other or crashed into a wall or something. I don't know why that is. Poor optimization, I'm guessing. But anyway, we are trying to overtake the Graffenried here, who is kind of swerving all over the place. I'm not sure why. But there we go, we pass the Graffenried. Chiron is next. However, he outbrakes me into turn 1 here. Well done to him, I guess. But for now, let's have a look at a replay of the start. Loads of smoke coming off the rear of my tires. Not entirely sure why, because I was barely even applying any power. But anyway, I, as you saw, I lost a few positions because of the drop in frame rate that I was talking about earlier. And here we are coming around, moving up into 10th. We saw someone crash to the left there, and a bit of drop in frame rate again. This is going to be the last time you'll see that as we come out of turn 3 there. And here we have Rudy Fischer in the Ferrari coming around. He loses control of the car. Then an Alfa Romeo comes around, smashes into the front of the Ferrari and breaks its front right wheel, ending his race. Now we have Felice Bonetto in the Alfa Romeo. He loses control of the car, um, crashes into the hay bale there, and there we see a couple of other cars kind of losing control, but it was Bonetto who retired. And now we have André Pilet in the Talbot Lago, crashes into the wall, flips the car around, and he's now upside down as a Simca there straightens another Talbot. And now coming into the final corner, we saw a car there that crashed. That was actually Felice Bonetto. I'm not sure what the game is doing, how it how Bonetto got this far in front. But anyway, we are now in 11th. We have Gonzalez right in front of us. Well, about 1.2 seconds ahead. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch him in turn 1. Who knows? And here we have Rosier in his Talbot Lago coming around that same corner, crashing, touching the wall, crashing and flipping his car upside down. Now we have uh, André Simon in the Simca Gordini coming around that exact same corner, crashing into the wall, losing his front left wheel, and he's out of the race. Now, coming through turn 1 here, chasing after Jose Froilan Gonzalez. He's now almost 3 seconds in front of us, and we have Fangio behind us, nearly 10 seconds behind. And now coming through that left-hander, we saw something, not sure what, but we passed the Grafenried and we move up into second position. That's absolutely amazing. Here is Robert Manzon coming through this left-hander, losing control of the car. He doesn't hit the wall. Now I can't see any damage, but still decides that he had enough. Ooh, beautiful save by that whoever was driving that Talbot Lago. That was absolutely amazing. Anyway, we are now chasing after Peter Walker, who is leading the race. That's very nice for the BRM team, I guess. Lap 4 and still chasing after Peter Walker. He's slowly pulling a gap on us. He's doing very, very well. The Grafenried is right behind us. Ooh, I nearly touched that wall. Could have been ugly if I crashed into that wall. And here we have Piero Taruffi in his Ferrari coming around. He touches the wall at the apex there and flips the car over. So that is the end of the race for Piero Taruffi. And there we see Johnny Claes losing control of his Talbot Lago. Here is the Écurie Belge. He comes around that corner, crashes into the wall on the apex there, and loses his front left wheel. So those are even more retirements to add to the list, as we are still chasing after Peter Walker. He's now 45.2 seconds up the road, and the Grafenried is nearly 14 seconds behind us at this point. Coming through turn 2 there and into turn 3, still chasing after Peter Walker. As I said, he's pulling a gap on us now pretty quickly at this point, so he's doing very, very well. And now we have Luigi Villoresi in his Ferrari coming around that left-hander, crashes the car into the wall and loses his front wheel. And now we have Alberto Ascari coming through that same corner, doing the exact same thing. However, his car seems to be intact, so I'm guessing he just had enough of this nonsense, as I'm kind of feeling him. And here is Fangio in his Alfa Romeo, comes around, hits the wall, and that's how he managed to get behind those hay bales. He kind of flipped over them. So even if he would want to continue, he couldn't, because, well, can't race anymore. Anyway, we catch up to Peter Walker by 1 second while that was going on, which is good. However, a few laps later, he pulls a, he re he builds a bigger gap. So we're not doing very well, relative, I guess, because we're in second. And here we have Cabantu in his Talbot Lago coming around through that same left corner everyone is having trouble with. Loses control of the car, and there number 12, who I think is Gonzalez, kind of flips him around, and he's probably out. As we come around to lap a couple of cars, we lapped a Talbot Lago, and there is a Ferrari, I guess, or a Maserati. Actually, I think that's a Ferrari, who we shall lap in a little while. Lap 9, still chasing after Peter Walker, who is continuing to build a gap to us, so I don't think we'll ever catch him, and we're building a gap on the Grafenried. We're nearly 1 minute ahead of him, but here we have a replay of Farina, who comes around that left-hander, crashes into the wall, and loses his front left wheel. Not very. The AI doesn't really like that corner, does it? As we now come through the final 2 corners of the lap, still trying to somehow catch up to Peter Walker, but at this point I think I'm going to have to give up on winning the race. Not that it would matter, because, well, we won the championship already. Lap 12, and Peter Walker is out of the Grand Prix. I can't believe it. Every single time Peter Walker was leading a race, he had to retire at one point or another. And here is a replay. He just pulls to the side and retires from the race. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Why would he do that? What happened there? Was it he ran out of fuel, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I guess we'll find out at the end of the race. As we now come through turn 2 and up into turn 3, we are now some nearly 2 minutes in front of the Grafenried and in the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix here, so not a lot that we can do. And there we have Luis Chiron coming around, crashing into the wall, losing his front left wheel, and he's out of the race, obviously. So even more retirements, even as we approach the halfway point of the race. Lap 14, and still continuing to build a gap on the Grafenried. 1 minute 56 seconds now as we come through that right-hander, and here we have Gonzalez in the number 12 Ferrari, so I was right. He comes around and kind of stops the car just before the apex there. I don't know what's happening. Cars stopping their car, drivers stopping their cars without any rhyme or reason. Oh well. A little bit later on lap 12, we come around to lap the Grafenried. Almost did it there. And there we go. We are now 1 lap ahead of him, and at least 1 lap ahead of everyone else who's left. And here we are on the final lap, coming around to lap the Grafenried for a second time. Just a couple of corners left here in the race. Not a very good race, but I guess things had to happen, as we will take the win in the 1951 Spanish Grand Prix. And the Grafenried is out of the race with just a couple of corners left. What on earth is going on here? Here is the replay. There we are going around to lap him, and the Grafenried is looking fine at the moment. Oh, so he just pulls to the side. What happened there? That makes no sense to me, seriously. But anyway, we come around to take the win of the Spanish Grand Prix, which increases our points in the standings. However, that doesn't really matter. And here are the race results. We have Fagioli and Sanesi, who also finished the race. However, they did not complete 90% of race distance, so that's why they are a bit distant. There's a little gap there. And here is here are the retirements, and it looks like the Grafarid, Gonzalez, and Peter Walker all ran out of fuel, so that's why they just stopped on the circuit without no real reason, which is kind of interesting because I still have quite a lot of fuel left in the car. Not sure why they didn't have any. But anyway, that was the Spanish Grand Prix. I don't know what to say. I wasn't even trying this race. Seriously, I wasn't even trying. And still I won. Well, because everyone retired, really. Yeah. Not a good race. Not a good race in by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, here we have the career statistics. Andy has participated in 15 Grand Prix. His best start 5th, no pole positions, has set 2 fastest laps. His best finish is 1st, has 6 wins, out of which one was at the Indianapolis 500. He has now won 1 championship, has a total of 66 points, 5 retirements, has experienced 310 laps out of the 450 total laps, has 3 bronze trophies, no silver trophies, 6 gold trophies, and as an extension, 6 podiums. And here we have the career standings for one last time. There we are at the top of the list with 43 points. Obviously, well, actually, Peter Walker managed to post in the fastest lap, so he gets 1 point, despite the fact that he retired halfway through the race. But everything else is kind of the same. We have Ascari, Walker, and Fangio all on 9 points. De Graafenried is the last man to have scored any points. And, well, we kind of won the 1951 World Drivers' Championship, even though I'm not very happy about it because I didn't really fight for it. It's not really deserved, in my opinion. But anyway, that is it for the Spanish Grand Prix. That is it for the 1951 Formula 1 season, and that is pretty much it for this video. Not much I can say, really. I'm disappointed that we ended up in kind of the same situation twice in a row. These were 2 races, one after the other, where Andy was the sole driver to uh, gain any points, and that's kind of stupid. But anyway, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't voted for next season's team yet, you'll have a couple of hours after this video goes live, so make sure to do that if you haven't yet. And as always, stay sharp.